What do a book signing and a pair of rings have in common? For Sister Wives fans, these two moments tell the real story of Christine's independence and Kody's anger. Fans thought Christine's book signing would be simple. But David and Gabe's sudden appearance changed everything. And Kody's refusal to give his daughters Claddagh rings revealed the truth about his control. Tonight, we piece it all together. Because what happened in that bookstore and what didn't happen with those rings may explain why this family will never heal.
Oh my gosh, Kody, it's your 13th child on the 13th day. What was your
We have to induce.
Your 13th biological child on the 13th day. Holy cow.
We should. Serious.
Okay.
Part 1. What if Christine Brown's book signing didn't just end with autographs, but with a family shocker that no one saw coming? Fans thought they were there for Christine's big day, but then David and Gabe walked in. And what happened next left the Sister Wives world reeling. Stay tuned, because what fans shouted inside that bookstore may just change the way you see Christine forever. Christine Brown has been enjoying her post-Kody independence, writing, speaking, and living life on her terms. Her memoir has been topping charts, and fans lined up across the block for a chance to meet her. But in the middle of this celebration, two faces appeared that nobody expected: her husband David and Kody's son, Gabe Brown. Why was Gabe there? Was this a show of support or a silent protest? Christine has worked tirelessly to separate her new life from the chaos of Kody. But with Gabe stepping into the spotlight at this event, the lines between old loyalties and new beginnings suddenly blurred. What Christine whispered to David at that moment left fans convinced there's more tension under the surface. For women everywhere who followed her journey, Christine isn't just a reality star. She represents resilience. A woman reclaiming her voice after years of heartbreak. Which is why this book signing felt like more than an event. It felt like a symbol. Until the surprise guests raised questions no one was prepared to answer. But the shock? That was only beginning. Oh my gosh, that's David and Gabe. Why is Gabe here? Doesn't he side with Kody? Social media lit up instantly. Hashtags trended. Was this a healing moment? Or a confrontation waiting to explode? Some fans swear Gabe looked uncomfortable. Others insist he was showing support. Who's right? Christine leaned heavily on David, her husband, as the crowd swarmed with questions. Their united front was clear. But behind that smile, Christine's tension was unmistakable. Christine softly to David, "Just stay with me. Don't leave my side." But why would she need to say that at her own celebration? Fans watched Gabe clash with Kody, especially during the pandemic. His decision to show up at Christine's signing seemed like a statement, but to whom? With Christine stepping away and Gabe caught between family fractures, was this a moment of solidarity or rebellion? And then, someone from the crowd yelled something that turned the energy icy. Fan clip reenactment. Where's Kody now? Christine froze. David squeezed her hand. Gabe looked down. And just like that, the book signing shifted from celebration to confrontation. Christine's response? Not what fans expected. Christine smiled politely. Tonight's about gratitude, not about the past. To some, that was grace. To others, avoidance. But either way, the tension was unmistakable. And fans online were already taking sides. What happened after the cameras stopped rolling? Maybe the biggest twist yet. Later that night, insiders leaked that Gabe hadn't just shown up by accident. He was invited by Christine herself. Why? Some say she wanted to mend family rifts. Others claim she wanted to send a message straight to Kody that his children choose her side. But either way, the fallout was immediate. For her core fan base, women who saw Christine as a beacon of freedom, this was a confusing moment. Had Christine blurred the lines too much? Or was this her boldest move yet? And then Gabe himself broke his silence. I came to support Christine. She's family to me. Period. Simple. Direct. But the implications? Explosive. Because if Christine is family, where does that leave Kody? The internet had its verdict, and it wasn't kind to Kody. This moment wasn't just about a book signing. It was about generational loyalty. About a woman refusing to let her story be rewritten by anyone else. And about a son standing in solidarity, even if it meant defying his father. But what Christine does next may determine if her fan base stays united or divides. So what do you think? Was Christine right to invite Gabe? Was this healing or another storm in the making? Tell us in the comments below. We're reading every single one. Christine's book signing may be over, but the story has only just begun. Part 2. Why would a father refuse to give his daughters a symbol of love and loyalty? For Sister Wives fans, the story of the Claddagh rings has haunted them for years. Christine's daughters wanted them. Kody said no. But the truth behind his anger runs far deeper than jewelry. What Kody said in private and what fans uncovered online shocked even the most loyal viewers. The Claddagh ring, an Irish symbol of love, friendship, and loyalty. Christine wanted her daughters to wear them as a promise of family unity. But when the idea was brought to Kody, his reaction wasn't just rejection. It was explosive. Fan voiceover, "It's just a ring." Why was he so angry? What made this simple request ignite years of pent-up frustration? To understand this moment, you have to go back. Christine had long felt that Kody's love wasn't equal. Her daughters, caught in the crossfire, wanted reassurance. Something they could hold. Something that meant they mattered. But when Kody heard about the Claddagh rings, he didn't see unity. He saw rebellion. Why would a symbol of loyalty feel like betrayal to him? In Christine's mind, the rings were a gift of healing. But in Kody's mind, they were proof of her independence and his loss of control. He saw them as Christine's daughters, not his. And when he refused, the damage would ripple through the entire family. When Christine suggested the rings, Kody reportedly snapped. He refused, calling it unnecessary, even inappropriate. Christine's daughters were left crushed. What should have been a gesture of love became a moment of rejection. Dad just didn't want to. But was it really about rings? Or something darker? For years, fans watched Kody's favoritism play out. Some kids got his attention. Others got excuses. The Claddagh ring refusal wasn't isolated. It was part of a larger pattern. A pattern that Christine's children felt more than anyone. It's clear he wanted nothing to do with Christine's girls. And that favoritism was about to explode online. For teenage girls seeking love from their father, being denied a symbol of loyalty stung deeply. In interviews and on social media, Christine's daughters hinted at the pain. They didn't just want rings. They wanted proof they were valued. Christine, they deserved to feel special. But Kody's silence spoke louder than any gift. When the refusal went public, fans speculated. Some believed Kody was angry at Christine, punishing her by punishing the kids. Others argued he never wanted to be bound by symbolic commitments. Either way, the backlash grew. And then, Christine's daughters revealed what hurt them most. Reenactment of daughter's words, "He never wanted to give us anything that tied us to him." Christine's daughters weren't asking for diamonds. They were asking for acknowledgement. And being denied left scars that fans still talk about today. But Kody's anger wasn't random. It was calculated. Insiders later revealed Kody refused the rings because he saw them as Christine's idea, not his. By accepting, he would admit Christine had power. And in his world, that was unacceptable. This wasn't about the rings. It was about control. And fans were furious. What kind of father does this? He ruined a memory that could have lasted forever. It's just a ring, but it meant everything. Kody's refusal became a symbol of his fractured fatherhood. For viewers, especially women who've lived through dismissive partners, it was all too relatable. And Christine's quiet dignity only made the contrast sharper. Christine went ahead anyway. She gave her daughters the love and loyalty Kody wouldn't. For fans, this cemented her role as not just a mother, but a survivor, a woman who refused to let her children feel less than. Christine, I will always show my kids they matter. And Kody's image? Never recovered. The Claddagh rings became more than jewelry. They became proof of what Christine always knew. Loyalty is shown, not spoken. And Kody's refusal told his daughters everything they needed to know. Which leaves us with one haunting question. If a father won't give love freely, what happens when his children stop asking for it? So what do you think? Was Kody's refusal about control? About Christine? Or about something even deeper? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell because every week we're diving deeper into the sister wives world, and you won't want to miss what comes next. The rings may never have been given, but the story behind them will never be forgotten. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. Christine Brown stood smiling, pen in hand, ready to greet fans at her first major book signing. For her, this was more than a publicity event. It was closure. A declaration that life after Kody wasn't just possible, it was thriving. But as Christine greeted fans, a murmur began to ripple through the crowd. Two familiar figures had entered the store. David Woolley, Christine's husband, and Gabe Brown, Kody's estranged son, stepped into the spotlight. The reaction? Shock. Gasps. And whispered questions. Fan Reddit thread reenactment. Wait, is that Gabe? Why would he be here? Does this mean he's taking sides? And Christine's whispered words to David left fans convinced this wasn't just coincidence. To understand why Gabe's presence mattered, you have to remember Kody's history of fractured fatherhood. Especially the story of the Claddagh rings. Fade into montage of earlier episodes, Christine suggesting rings, Kody shaking his head, daughters looking disappointed. This wasn't just about jewelry. It was about loyalty, love, and control. The Claddagh ring, a centuries-old Irish symbol of friendship, loyalty, and love. Christine wanted her daughters to wear them as proof they mattered. But when she brought the idea to Kody, his answer was not just no. It was rejection, laced with anger. He couldn't even give his daughters a ring? That tells you everything. And that rejection set the stage for the explosive emotions that surfaced years later, at the book signing. As Gabe stood quietly near Christine's table, fans pulled out their phones. Some cheered. Some looked uneasy. Christine, while smiling for photos, tightened her grip on David's hand. To many, this was a celebration. But under the surface, it was a showdown. Facebook comment, "This is Christine's victory lap," and Gabe's quiet rebellion. But what Christine said next to the crowd left everyone speechless. Fan clip, "Where's Kody now?" Christine paused, smiled, and said softly, "Tonight isn't about the past. It's about gratitude." To some, it was grace. To others, denial. But everyone knew the wound was still raw. Because that single question, "Where's Kody?" connected back to the Claddagh rings he refused to give. Years earlier, Christine's daughters had begged for rings. Rings that would prove their father's loyalty. But Kody exploded. He dismissed the idea, called it unnecessary. To his daughters, it wasn't about jewelry. It was about acknowledgement. And being denied left a scar. YouTube fan comment, "That was the moment they stopped asking him for love." And now, seeing Gabe by Christine's side, fans wondered if the children had chosen their mother over their father. On Reddit, fans debated, was Gabe showing support for Christine? Or defiance toward Kody? One user wrote, "This was a silent protest." Another countered, "He just loves Christine like a mom." That's it. But Gabe's decision to speak out later would settle the debate. Christine's daughters in interviews revealed the pain of being denied the rings. One said, "He never wanted to give us anything that tied us to him." That sentence struck a chord with women across America, women who know the pain of a father who withholds love. Facebook comment, "As a divorced mom, I cried hearing that. Rings aren't just rings." And this emotional thread would weave right back into the signing, where Christine's calm mask was beginning to crack. Later, insiders revealed that Gabe hadn't shown up by chance. Christine had invited him. She wanted her daughter's brother, the son Kody pushed away, to stand in solidarity. To stand in solidarity. For some fans, it was healing. For others, proof Christine was still sending messages to Kody. And when Gabe finally broke his silence, the internet erupted. Reenactment of Gabe's social media post, "I came to support Christine. She's family to me. Period." Simple. Direct. But the implications? Explosive. If Christine is family, where does that leave Kody? And the backlash was immediate. Montage of comments. What kind of father refuses a ring but loses a son? Christine deserved that support. Kody showed his true colors years ago. The refusal of the rings and the presence of Gabe merged into one narrative, Kody's broken bonds as a father. For many women watching, it was painfully relatable. A story not just about sister wives, but about survival. But Christine's response to the backlash made her fans love her even more. "I will always show my kids they matter. Always." With that, Christine reframed the story. The rings may never have been given. The father may never have shown up. But the mother's love shined brighter than ever. And the sister wives' legacy may now rest not with Kody, but with Christine and her children. Before the book signing, before the new marriage, Christine's journey was already legendary. From her early days in Leahy, Utah, as Kody's third wife, she carried the weight of sisterhood and sacrifice. Fans watched in Season 1 as Christine played the peacemaker, the homemaker, the glue holding the family together. But over time, her patience cracked. By Season 16, the smile we all knew had dimmed. Christine confessed in a TLC interview, "I don't want to be married to Kody anymore. I deserve better." That declaration became one of reality TV's most powerful moments. And the book signing was the symbol of her finally reclaiming her voice. Fans didn't just watch this unfold, they dissected it. On Reddit, one post titled, "The Claddagh Betrayal" received thousands of upvotes. Comments poured in. "My dad gave me a ring when I was 13. I can't imagine him saying no." Kody didn't see daughters, he saw pawns in a power game. Meanwhile, in Facebook fan groups, mothers in their 40s, 50s, even 70s, wrote about crying when they heard Christine's daughters explain the pain. YouTube comment sections became battlegrounds, Team Christine versus Team Kody. The verdict? Overwhelming support for Christine, and overwhelming disappointment in Kody. To understand why the Claddagh rings mattered so much, we need to understand what they symbolize. Originating in Ireland in the 17th century, the hands represent friendship, the heart represents love, and the crown represents loyalty. Traditionally, parents gift them to children as a blessing, a sign of belonging. Christine wasn't asking for diamonds. She was asking Kody to give his daughters a piece of himself. By refusing, Kody wasn't just saying no to jewelry, he was saying no to acknowledgement. And for Christine's daughters, that rejection cut deeper than words. Some insiders argue that Kody's refusal wasn't purely emotional. At the time, tensions over finances were boiling. Divorce settlements, house sales, and shifting loyalties meant every symbolic gesture had weight. Giving rings could have been seen as binding, as a promise he wasn't willing to make, especially with his authority already slipping. Christine, on the other hand, turned her memoir into both a financial success and an emotional victory. Her independence was more than symbolic. It was tangible, a book on bestseller lists, speaking events, and a new life that didn't include Kody. Let's replay that moment. A fan's voice cuts through the air. "Where's Kody now?" Watch closely. Christine's eyes pause for a fraction of a second. Her lips tighten, and then she smiles. David's hand gently squeezes hers. Gabe lowers his head, avoiding the crowd's gaze. In those 3 seconds, volumes were spoken without words. Christine chose grace. David offered strength. Gabe showed silent solidarity. For fans watching on TikTok and Twitter, these micro-expressions became proof of where the family's true loyalties now lie. And this isn't the end. Rumors swirl about TLC's next season, about Mary's quiet exit, Janelle's growing independence, and whether Kody can hold on to the family he still has left. If Christine's book signing was a chapter of triumph, and the Claddagh refusal a chapter of pain, what comes next may be the final volume in the Brown family saga. Stay tuned, because the story is far from over. So what do you think? Did Christine invite Gabe to send a message to Kody, or was it simply love? And was Kody's refusal of the Claddagh rings about control, or fear of losing authority? Tell us in the comments below. We read every one. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more Sister Wives breakdowns, and hit the bell because the next chapter in this family's drama is already unfolding. The book signing is over. The rings were never given. But the truth behind these two moments will echo in Sister Wives history forever.